There we go. Hey, Jeepers, sorry. I, uh, there's some words there. And that'll come back up. Pro is the gaming, yes. What you up to, Super? You tweaking your stuff to make it more efficient? Do you want to see where the script lies as of right now? Dude, you're not sounding like you're getting a fucking choice. The girlfriend probably is gonna call me in an hour. Okay. So we don't have the introduction done at all. I'm gonna figure that out later. This needs to be fixed up probably, but this is Virginia's introduction. She was diagnosed with avoidant personality disorder. With that, she was diagnosed with PTSD, and then I would diagnose her with social anxiety disorder. Virginia struggles with social interactions such as being observed in normal typical environments to the point of causing major distress. A&E on there, which you're not going to be able to read that easily. Like, go. We are going to DSM. There we go. She fears that she may become negatively evaluated based on her anxiety or levels of stress caused by social situations, which cause intense fear or panic, which is B and C. She avoids all social interactions based on previously discussed symptoms of isolation. I'm not going to reiterate that. We've discussed multiple times this girl has social isolation disorders. I keep having a fly around me. It's annoying. These behaviors have lasted since her major incident, and these symptoms are not caused by substances, I believe, based on the level of duress or clearly excessive for her daily functioning. HIJ. I originally was contemplating that she would have body dysmorphic disorder or agoraphobia, however, due to her perceived flaws being observable to others, she would be excluded from these diagnoses as they require no physically observable flaws. I was trying to see if there were the modifiers. but I don't think this DSM has the modifiers anymore. Um, maybe we could just like okay, I'm not a fan of what we call the modifiers, right? Because one, they only exist to submit to Medicaid, basically, or to insurances, basically. So it's not really there to help you as a client, and I think it's a little too like forefrontal on the whole it's a little too forefrontal for my opinion. Like I would personally kind of err a little bit more on like the side of caution. And because like if I tell you you have social anxiety disorder, it's not going to sound that bad. But if I tell you, hey, your family sucks, you'd probably be a little bit more hesitant to talk to me again. Imagine how much better the medical world would be without for-profit insurance. But imagine a world without needing insurance in the first place. We're not even talking about for-profit anymore. We're talking about just in general. Encounters for mental health services for victim of child physical abuse by parents. Encounters for mental health services for victims of non-parental child physical abuse. Personal history. Is there like emotional abuse, child neglect? She's not a child. It's considered insurance, but it's like not really insurance. Yeah, I don't like I'm not a big fan of the Z modifiers and the RRs and the T's. Like I don't care about these. No, they should be sleeves. Okay. It's just some shit people like to throw onto like modifiers. That's all. Do you consider breakfast burrito a breakfast item or just an excuse to have burrito in the morning? Does sausage and egg dictate breakfast? Because that would be your answer. Right? Because, like, when people say I'm going to have breakfast for dinner, right? They usually have sausage, bacon, or, sausage, egg, cheese, bacon, and, shit like that. So just putting it in a burrito, it's just the format of it. So I would say that a breakfast burrito is a breakfast item. Because they sell breakfast burritos with like maple syrup in it, which I think would be like past a point, Because if you want a burrito in the morning, because I used to, whenever I was in college, would walk to the student union at like 11 because my classes were all in the afternoon, and I was like fucking plastered in the night. they sold burritos, but they had a breakfast burrito and a normal burrito, and both of them for breakfast. And I always got the breakfast burrito. Which was egg, cheese, sausage, salsa, and a little bit of maple syrup in there, and they would toast the bitch for me. I would say that's a breakfast thing. I guess it depends on your opinion on food items. The 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 one time I have yeah. So yeah, that is my opinion on it. My microphone decided to turn itself all the way down. A fucking noise gate don't work. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's up with my noise gate. Duh, duh. I basically have no noise gate right now. Hello, hello, hello. 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 I don't understand. I don't get it. Uh. How does that sound, Super? Hello. Hello. Let's see if it starts going in and out. I don't think it would. Okay. I just had to re-enable a different noise gate, I guess. The okay. Well, there we go. Perfect. Therapy recommendations. This is long. And so I may find like a way to in summary this, but I may not. I probably will just leave it the same. Within this intersection for each of the characters, I would like to reiterate that therapy recommendations are not an end all be all, and that these are just my own working points. There are, of course, better and worse options, and at the end of the day, this comes down to clinical judgment, experience, and knowledge to provide services for Virginia and the other characters. So take it with a grain of salt, deadass. I'm only an expert in my own experiences and clinical knowledge compared to others with different clinical orientations, ideas, and pathways for clients. Virginia, I would lean towards erring on the side of caution, building skills while challenging her safe zone so early on due to intense oh my god, so early on due to how intensely these environments caused her anxiety and panic. Foundationally speaking, she needs to build a tolerance and emotional regulation for her triggers, such as being viewed, public spaces, and her own reaction to mirrors. As for 2026, typically she would fall under the need of dialectical behavioral therapy, which is targeted towards intense emotional and behavioral dysfunction alongside more intensive disorders such as BPD and schizophrenia. At the time, it was used more for suicide ideation and substance use, but I believe the structuring of DBT would benefit her greatly. I am not trained in DBT, but I would typically pull from that grounding restriction, develop skills for her to be able to relax during her trigger points. This includes things like 5 sense grounding technique, and breathing exercises with physical assistance such as small items and pockets, pull strings, and other safe tools. Additionally, we would find targeting looking locations if a mirror is in front of her, such as her eyes, nose, mouth, or other physical observations outside of her scars. Within this time, we would try to build a support structure with individuals she may be comfortable with to some degree, even if it's a minute level of checking in to help maintain mental support in her daily life. Due to her living in Washington, there may be groups for individuals with physical scarring or disabilities, which can help her have a stronger structure and physical safe location. For her food-related issues, there were food delivery services in Washington at the time, such as Home Grocer or Net Grocer, which could help during the transition when her safe zone shopping center is closed. Additionally, some grocery stores at the time had assistance programs for calling curbside delivery, similar to Walmart pickup, depending on the situation. This is not being recommended to prevent her from integrating the new shopping center into her safe zone, but to slowly build a tolerance as needed while her other skills are being developed. Based on her needs and opinions, I would work with her on expanding her safe sphere and beginning to understand her cognitive distortion. This could be done concurrently with trauma processing, but for her well-being, try to bring daily living skills more to the forefront. However, sessions would typically be client-led, so it would ultimately be her decision. For the next session, it would be positioned one before the other, depending on her needs. I would also begin working with her to gradually expose her to different stimuli, such as looking in small mirrors to develop tolerance over time. Within ethical guidelines, we would typically try to attempt sessions outside of the office, starting with a park or a neutral safe space for Virginia to begin developing social awareness and emotional regulation, and to collaboratively map safer and more open areas. These would be pre-established and documented beforehand, with Virginia being fully aware of the goals, procedures for crisis, and confidentiality hurdles for public meetings. The end goal is for her to attend these locations on her own over time and expand her safe zone. After processing has been observable by Virginia and strides have been made in alleviating trigger levels and frequencies, we would begin to target her PTSD symptoms and process her experience. Nowadays, these big models are EMDR, trauma-focused CBT, and other frameworks of a similar nature. I would look more at the working therapeutic relationship and use a long-term model to challenge her thought distortion and be able to change the idea of past traumatic events to a past threat, reinforcing that she's no longer at risk and that the threat is able to be managed by her own emotional understanding. Alongside this, we would work on developing an internalized understanding of herself so that her thoughts of herself do not stem from others, and building her self-esteem back to a healthy, safe level. Then we can begin processing her emotions surrounding her childhood before, during, and after the incident, and how these past traumas cause current emotional duress. So if I can end summary this, because that is very long, and I don't know how to make that entertaining without like having a fucking bell. Let me see. I don't even know how I would end summary that shit. This shit fucking seemed like it was very long. Okay. So if I were to rewrite this, before getting within the therapy recommendations section, for all characters, I would like to iterate that these are just my clinical judgment based on my own experience and expertise, and that other clinicians may assist her in their own way. So just take it with a grain of salt. Maybe what I should do, super hang on. What I should do is voice to text it. Manage, trust, close, open. Ask. Brother. Brother. Oh, I'm on 3 point. Brother. I'm trying to get it to work. Oh, there it goes. For Virginia's case, I would try to err on the side of caution for leading her directly into leaving her safe zone just because it could put her more at risk for her triggers. I would try to pull from like a DBT or a CBT kind of mindset, looking at her specifically strong issues. God, the fucking flies. Uh, I would err on the side of caution with. Oh wait, I just said that. Uh, I would try to pull from like a DBT, which is like dial. I would pull skills from dialectical behavioral therapy and try to work with her in being able to understand um, grounding techniques to control her trigger reactions through her bodily responses. That was typing somewhere and I lost it. Such as five things is three. Ah, fuck. Such as the five senses, which is five things you see, four things you hear, three things you feel. No. Additionally, different breathing exercises with physical assistance through the use of small toys, pull strings, and other things she can use with her hands. Additionally, I would try to get her to be able to look at different things within mirrors, such as her eyes, her eyebrows, hairline, or something else other than the scars to build a tolerance into mirror exposure. So we'll just mark that red. Within this time, I would try to build some support structure for her. So be it through her brother or someone that she's close relatively to. There are different groups that may have been running at this time, so she could be a part of some disability or physical disability groups to have a support structure. Based on her needs within the clinical setting, I would let her guide the next sessions after this point. Typically, I would try to build her safe zone through exposure therapy, using ethical guidelines to meet her outside of the office, such as at a park or a mutual space, to begin building an understanding of to others perceiving her within her safe environments. Starting off from far away perception to closer and closer perception until she's able to attend social gatherings and events on her own accord without having triggers. These sessions would be heavily dictated beforehand, and she would understand that crisis situations to alleviate uh, I don't know if the word. Oh, it is stop. Okay. Is the word counter correct on this thing? 562. 562. 565. 723. Damn. No, I'm not getting that super. Which one do you think is better, super? This version or like the old, more clinical way? Nah. I think there's an art to taking boring um clinical shit and turning it into something like watchable. I'm trying to shoot for having the video be under like 35 minutes. Okay, and then we have to do the last section. Um, after 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 progress has begun, yeah. After progress has begun being observable, we would probably move to PTSD symptoms, such as EMDR, trauma focused therapy. After progress begins being observable, we would start targeting her PTSD symptoms. This would look at theoretical framework changes. Such as trying to take her traumatic event and move it into a past safety threat mindset versus like a current ongoing threat. Alongside, we would try to build her understanding of herself and being able to have her own corner. Alongside, we would try to get her in her own corner in the sense of being able to find her own beauty that's not perceptive of other people's observations of her. That's a fucking pussy super. We cut the words down by about 70. Character wise, we're at 3,800 versus 4,400. So we cut like a good 6,000 characters, 70 words out of it. That's not too bad. I would say like that's pretty good, all things considered. Which I mean, it basically cuts. Like if we put this at the top of a page, and then put that at the top of a page, we're looking at damn near the same fucking length. I think one's just less clinical. Like if you were watching a YouTube video and someone goes, "Hey, within this entire section for each of the characters, I would like to reiterate the therapy recommendations on end all be all, and the research is my own working points." So there are of course like better and worse options at the end of the day. This comes down to clinical judgment, experience, and knowledge to provide services to Virginia and other characters. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm only an expert in my own experiences. Um, oh, this is. Oh, this isn't even with that section. Well, that might be like a huge cut. Yeah, we cut like 300 words off of it. Within the therapy recommendations section for all characters, I would like to iterate that these are just my clinical judgment, based on my own experiences and expertise, and that other clinicians may assist her in their own way. So just take it with a grain of salt. I'm not an expert in all modals. And disorders. For Virginia's case, I would try to err on the side of caution on leading her directly into leaving her safe zone, just because it'd be more at risk mentally. I would put skills from dialect behavioral therapy and try to work with her to be able to understand her grounding techniques, control her trigger reactions, and her bodily responses, such as the five senses, which I might just pop them up. I'm not going to say that. Probably not. Like, I'm going to take like one of the spreadsheets I have. Additionally, different breathing exercises with physical assistance through the use of small toys, pull strings, and other things she could use with her hands. Nowadays, it would just be like fidget toys. Additionally, I would try to get her to be able to look at different things when she looks at mirrors, such as her eyes, eyebrows, hairline, or something other than her scarring to build a tolerance to her own physical appearance. Usually someone, even with disabilities, tries to have like one positive feature they can find on themselves. A lot of women say their eyes, by the way. With this and within this time, I would try to build some support structure for her to be able to so within this time I'd try to build some support structure for her, so be it through her brother or someone that she's close to. There are different groups that may have been running at this time, so she could be part of some disability or physical disability groups to have a support structure. For her food related issues, there were food delivery services in Washington at the time, such as Home Grocer and Net Grocer, which could help during that transition if her station shopping center closes. Additionally, some grocery stores at the time had assistance programs for calling curbside delivery, similar to Walmart pickup, depending on the situation. This is not being recommended to prevent her from integrating the new shopping center into her safe zone, but to slowly build tolerance as needed while her other skills are being developed. I kept that section the same just because that's how I would actually probably say it. Like, while talking to a client about like something like that, I'd probably say it like that. Knowing me. I actually wanted to go look uh in game. They do in fact create stuff. I wanted to go look in game. Cause these crates Mayor there might be like an indication that there may be like a food delivery service in game. Now like look, computer. Does she have a computer in her apartment? I guess we'll go look. We're coming, Virginia. So we got some painting. She's right next to a hotel.
Locked.
I don't see a computer, but she does have a phone.
No
right.
Picking up.
And then she does have a brother. Control F3, F4, F2, F2. I could take a video of her bed and I can superimpose me in her bed talking about that. Would be fucking weird. I'm not doing that. Like, it'd be one thing. Yeah, it'd be kind of creepy. Maybe sitting on her couch. But yeah, I think the couch might be a little bit better. I don't know if my recording buttons work. Hang on. Oh, they do. It may have recorded. D videos. Oh, it recorded that. Okay. Well. I could just cut the bar off at the top. Okay, there we go. So I have the full recordings of me like going through the game. I don't know if I'm gonna need to like re-look through that. But I was gonna have me like sitting in the chair there. And then like I have just a different angle that I can kind of switch to, because I can set my two cameras up. Like I have two tripods, so I can try to get like the best concurrent angles for the two, because this is going to be more of like head on, and then this is going to be more like right below. And then we have like a thing for Virginia. I guess like we should probably find like another spot. Like I could do that. Hang on. Like I think that might be good. Like me just sitting facing forward. How would that look? I'll record it. And what I can do is I can rip the sound files so I can make like a better loop. Control F2, come on. The main game, control F2, F2, alt F2. F1, F1. I'm a little bit anxious. I'm unsure of where to go.
It has a small coin. It's no use.
Is there a link between Virginia and Alan? I wouldn't rule it out.
I guess I'm about to find out.
Be careful, Desmond.
Here we go again.
Head on a swivel, Desmond.
Oh, fuck. Let's eject it. I want to go to Virginia's. I need to go see if they have like a car delivery thing. Because we're talking about 1997. What are even the code of ethics then? Like non-fucking existent? Like, I want to be so goddamn real. I don't think like a code of ethics existed in 1997. I think that's like some made up gabagool. There are people I work with who were therapists, like have worked with in the past, who were therapists in 97, by the way. So I don't see anything that would be marked as like a delivery truck, but like if we go inside, they might have like something set up. Oh, does it reset the level when you re-enter? Okay, we're just looking for... Is this Homomart? Yeah. Remember when you were young.
Sharp as a knife.
I didn't think it was gonna restart the level.
The door to the east wing is locked. Needs a key. I'll come back for this if I need it.
Head on a swivel, Desmond.
Swivel dirty. Huh? I'm a little bit anxious. Zoom camera in, dude. I didn't see that shit until just now. It's not happening. Fuck you. Oh, fuck.
It's blocked from the other side. carry that much ammo. It's a fuse box.
That light is mine.
Can't carry any more of this. It's out of... I don't want to move forward. The lantern is off. It's an old oil lantern. Too much for one man. Nothing. Something stops me from getting closer.
Get off of me.
The door leading to the courtyard is locked. Glad to see it's still good. It's a fuse box.
There you go.
I
other side.
Whoops.
It's a base for a crank wheel.
There you are. Come here.
It pops out if I turn it too tight. It's a base for a crank wheel.
I gotta show you something. It's growing.
It pops out if I turn it too tight. I should sit in the boat first. It's a base for a crank wheel.
Bon voyage!
Here. Doc. Things keep getting stranger.
Sup, Dave? Thanks for that locker key. Sammy, how you doing? Screw it. Here goes nothing. I can't carry that much ammo.
How? What happened? Danger. Miscalculation.
Move out!
It's blocked from the other side. blocked from the other side. This way leads to the top of the crane. You've got to be kidding me.
There you are. Get down here.
It's blocked from the other side. I'll come back for this if I need it.
Why do I feel strange? Get off of me. I thought we were friends. I'll drown you. associated with darkness.
Not bad.
Why is it so dark?
It's a fuse box.